In the popular election, looks like Trump is going to win over 300 electoral college votes, something like 316 total, 315, 312. It'll be near there, and he won the popular vote. And for the second time, they're eating the dogs, eating the cats, eating their books, and just absolutely verklempt with emotion, because for the second time, Trump has curb stomped a lady in the election. They don't get the point. No matter what happened, parish orphans and retrogrades in 2020 with a poor old man, that poor incontinent old man, Joseph Biden. We don't really know. We're never going to find out. Did he really win 81 million votes? Doubtful. But maybe, I mean, he's a man. Look, he's white and he's a man. So does that make one fit to govern? Well, it's not. It doesn't work against it. If you're white and you're a man, and this is America after all, it makes you seem fitter than white Hillary Clinton or brownish Kamala Harris to govern. And the main thing is, Americans are speaking out. We would rather eat the dog, eat the cat, than be governed by a woman. Let's go to Pope Pius X, who said, "It's a mistake to maintain that women's rights are the same as man's. Women in war or parliament are outside their proper sphere, and their position there would be the desperation and ruin of society. Women created as man's companion must so remain, always under his power." And you are, ladies of America, under the power of men. So congratulations. Look, your body, our choice. Your body, our choice. And by that I mean, this is the white wall, whatever you want to call it. The patriarchy, you know, patriarchy. I'm the godfather of the online patriarchy revival. So people are saying, as the liberals are eating the dogs, eating their books, eating the cats in sobs and tears, screaming patriarchy, people are thinking, wow, these must be hate watchers of rules for retrogrades. It's incredible, isn't it? Your body, through the lawfare, through the white wall, through just being a man, through phallocentrism, which is something of a joke in America now. We live in quite the opposite, a gynocentric regime, popular culture and lawfare. But through that, patriarchy is coming back, and it will be your bodies, our choice. The choice of white men. And there's such a beauty to that, isn't there? And of course, it's not really your bodies, because if it was your body, you'd be the one
that dies,
being aborted, the one that dies. But, you know, what we were talking about this morning. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would you say that I am? It's a good Eminem line. He's a little skeevy little, you know, Dr. Dre's girlfriend, but he's got some good lines, and he's got some good points. I always say this because my buddy Nick says it. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would you say that I am? So that's the popular response, parish orphans and retrogrades, on the triumphalist right. 2 nights ago, yesterday, today, for the next 100 days, we're going to celebrate the eating of the dogs and the eating of the cats. Proverbially speaking, that is to say, we're just celebrating the fact that liberals are made everywhere to want to eat the cats and the dogs.
They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Do you want to explain to everybody why you're so professionally dressed today?
Yeah, I mean, look, people are always saying I should dress up, and I said, you know what? You have a point. And if you can't beat them, join them. So I actually one of my twins, little Pip, today just came by and put my buddy's, my little son, we call him Buddy. He would put his clip on me, on my flare shirt. And I said, hey, you know what? It's a formal occasion, so why not? If you can't beat them, join them. Today is, of course, a happy, happy day. And of course, today is Thursday, the 7th of November, nearly 48 full hours after the shellacking of that ambiguously brown lady candidate, Kamala Harris. Shellacked. I mean, she got curb stomped. She got knocked TFO. And it is beautiful. What I opened up saying was that no matter how weird 2020 was electorally, in the general election, the funny business and skullduggery that prevailed upon all of us, like a low-hanging fog. We still don't know what happened. And then we were given, nearly 4 full years now of an incontinent president, really a poor old man, a lapsed Catholic, an evil guy who fell in with the wrong crowd, Barack and Michael Obama, and all of the NWO crowd. And he's been in the Senate for like 5 decades, for like 7 decades. And he's just corrupt. But he's incontinent. He's pooped his pants like a dozen times on TV. And it is funny. Like you're just some lying hypocrite Christian if you don't think that's funny. But it's also a little bit sad. It's a little bit sad because he was used and used up by the establishment, by the Obamas, who are really running what's been going on and making the decisions, the nerve center. And after the July, two butts in a nation attempt, I can't say the word on YouTube, but 2 butts in a nation attempt on President 4547's life, then less than a month later, there was a coup d'etat in the form of the Democratic presidential nominee. It was originally Joe Biden, obviously the incumbent, and overnight it became Kamala Harris. And they just said, hey, look, this is our time. Feminism has been in the brew for so long. It has been in the brew for so long since, at least 1848 Seneca Falls Convention. It is time, isn't it, to have some girl as president? Hegel says, in time, all ideas ripen. At some point, we're going to have this is the way the left thinks, the historicist Hegelian left, that thinks in terms of dialectical materialism, phenomenology of Geist. They think in some time, all ideas will prevail. So maybe we'll have like a 3-year-old baby for a president at some point. Maybe that comes into fashion. Well, once you're putting forward a woman president, you're stone's throw away from a 3-year-old baby president. Seriously, and Americans bizarrely don't want it. Look, we are a big, dumb, flabby, flaccid, immoral, Leviathan, LMNOPQ, nation full of retards who fall hook, line, and sinker for moronic, obviously evil ideas like, the Bruce Jenner thing, Skittles, Transformers, feminism, most depreciably, most odiously. We fell for feminism hard, but not as much as those Europeans. In some ways, the Europeans are a little bit behind us in terms of the left Hegelian slide into absolute pandemonium and chaos. And in other ways, in most ways, they're ahead of us. They're like half of the leaders, political leaders of Western Europe, violate the dicta of many of these 20th century popes. This is Pius X, based Pius X, who says, look, in terms of even getting a girl into the Congress, it's a mistake to maintain that women's rights are the same as man's. They're not the same. You don't have the same rights as your husbands, ladies. If you're Catholic or you care about the truth, women in war or parliament are outside their proper sphere, and their position there would be the desperation and ruin of society. Women created as man's companion must so remain always under his power. Thank you, Pius. He's addressing Parliament. Can you imagine if Pius X thought some girl who's not even white could be the ruler of America? A white Christian nation? What the seriously? He wouldn't even have believed it, and he wrote that in like 1907, 1908. Unbelievable how far this country has slid since the 4 great tyrants Lincoln, Wilson, Roosevelt, Obama. Just ruined this country. Most of all, Lincoln. Well, here's Benedict XV, another 20th century pope. For those of you out there, idiots, who think that the notion of patriarchy is outdated, listen to all these 20th century popes. Benedict XV, with religion's decline, cultured women have lost their sense of shame along with their piety. Many, in order to take up tasks ill-befitting their sex, took to imitating men, gender dysphoria. Who told you feminism was gender dysphoria but me? Well, also Benedict XV, if you read in between the lines. He says, others abandoned the duties of wives for which they were formed to be cast into the current of life. This is Pio XI, Pius XI. Wifely work outside the home is the debasing of the womanly character and the dignity of motherhood, of the whole family, as a result of which the husband suffers the loss of his wife, the kids of their mother, and the home and family of an ever-watchful guardian. Think about Amy Coney Barrett. You know, I mean, look, I'm celebrating the Trump victory with everyone else. I did vote for him. I was thinking about not, because he's such an old feminist boomer. I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but Whitney Webb did a really good tweet today just saying, here's why I'm a skeptic. And she had so many factoids collocated and gathered right ready at hand to throw at you guys. And some of them even I didn't know. But I mean, just on a more basic level, you're the Fauci-ouchie, huge fan, Project Warp Speed, closing the country, feminism, saying, oh, don't you want a woman on the Supreme Court? Gave us one. Now he did end Roe versus Wade. So that issue is over. But still, he's an old boomer feminist.
The cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. The dogs are eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
This is also Pius XI to the drop beat of eating the dogs, eating the cats. The false liberty and unnatural equality with the husband of wife is to the detriment of the woman herself. For the woman descends from her regal throne in Christian homes, then she will soon be reduced to the old state of slavery and become, as among the pagans, a mere instrument of man. Think of super spreader Kamala Harris starting her career by sleeping with lots and lots of gross, like Chicago politicians or whoever it was, Willie Brown. Think of how gross that is. And that's how she had to start it. Remember she said super spreader about COVID. Everyone called her the super spreader. That's what happens. That's what happens, according to Pius XI, when women think they're men and start taking to the streets, start taking to the workplace, start taking to Congress or Parliament or the courts, the high courts. I don't care whether you're talking state or fed, or heavens to Murgatroyd, heavens to Betsy, the presidency. These uppity broads thought they could take the presidency. Not yet. Not ever. And they thought they could do so because they're feminist witches. And the only issue she was riding, like it was Willie Brown in the start of her career, was abortion. We want to kill babies, kill our babies. We want the right to kill our babies. Well, as is now going around the internet, your body, our choice, the choice of white men. Sorry. And it's really sad. She will soon be reduced to the old state of slavery and become, as among the pagans, a mere instrument of man. I don't know who said that first. Maybe NJF.